In this video, I'd like to take you on a short journey to one of the most beautiful natural tourist destination in Wonosobo, Telaga Menjer. Located in Maron Village, Karung District, Telaga Menjer offers a calm and refreshing atmosphere. As I walked into the area, I was greeted by fresh mountain air and lush green scenery. I continued strolling around the lake, enjoying the peaceful surroundings and the beauty of nature that remains unspoiled. Along the way, I saw tall pine trees lining the edges of the lake, creating a cool and calming environment. The white lake, with its still water, offers a breathtaking view. Several boats were seen floating on the surface, enhancing the charm of Telaga Menjer as a relaxing destination. In addition to the scenery, the air here is very cool, as the lake is located about 1,300 meters above sea level. Visitors can enjoy many activities here, such as riding boats, fishing, or simply sitting and enjoying the natural view. I also saw some people purchasing entrance tickets, which helps supports the maintenance of this beautiful place. The lake is often visited by both local and out-of-town tourists, especially during weekends or holidays. At the end of my visit, I stood still and took a moment to admire the lake once more. It was a brief journey to Telaga Menjer. Thank you for watching.
Wonosobo is a beautiful region in Central Java, Indonesia, known for its cool air and rich culture. One of the most traditional from Wonosobo is the Lengger dance. Lengger is a traditional dance with colorful movements, performance with gamelan music, and colorful costume. Sometimes it's danced by men dressed as a woman called Lengger Lanang. It shows the beautiful spirit and culture of Wonosobo. And now, join me as we explore the history of Lengger Wonosobo. Today I'm with one the Lengger dance, Rico, who is also a student at the Universitas Sains Al-Quran. Let's hear more from him.
Halo guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Amalia Sadatul Rusda, NIM 074. Nah, sekarang saya berada di Karawitan FITK atau FITK sendiri. Sekarang saya bersama dengan Mas Riko. Dia adalah salah satu coach dari Karawitan FITK. Oke, mungkin akan saya tanyai sedikit-sedikit mengenai Lengger Wonosobo. Nah, yang pertama saya akan bertanya mengenai bagaimana sejarah Lengger Wonosobo sendiri, Mas.
Untuk sejarah Lengger Wonosobo itu sendiri dimulai di daerah Dusun Giyanti, tepatnya di Selomerto. Nah, pada zaman dulu itu untuk seni tari Lengger itu mengisahkan tentang Panji Asmorobangun serta Dewi Sekartaji. Nah, untuk sejarahnya di Wonosobo itu pada zaman dahulu seni tari Lengger itu dibawakan oleh seorang pria. Jadi belum ada Lengger wanita seperti sekarang. Kurang lebih seperti itu sejarah singkatnya.
Berarti dari dulu nggak ada Lengger cewek ya, Mas?
Belum ada.
Oke, Mas Riko udah berapa lama Mas berkontribusi dalam Lengger Wonosobo?
Kalau saya kurang lebih sudah 10 tahun, yaitu dari kelas 4 SD kalau nggak salah sampai sekarang.
Berarti itu rombongan di desa?
Ya, punya rombongan di desa, terus juga ada sanggar tersendiri.
Oke, nah apa yang membedakan tari Lengger Wonosobo dengan tari-tari lainnya seperti kayak ada tari Bali ataupun tari apa gitu, yang membedakan itu apa, Mas?
Yang jelas dari tarinya itu sendiri beda dari tari-tari yang lain. Untuk pembawaannya itu sendiri, untuk tari Wonosobo itu biasanya menggambarkan kearifan lokal yang ada di Wonosobo. Contohnya seperti gerakan seperti menanam, menggunakan suweng ataupun pengilon berias. Cermin. Ya seperti itu ya. Contohnya seperti itu.
Oh, berarti emang sangat membedakan ya, Mas. Terus harapan Mas Riko untuk generasi selanjutnya. Misalnya kalau generasi dulu itu kan emang kental sangat ya kalau dengan budaya. Tapi kalau sekarang apa yang diharapkan Mas Riko untuk kedepannya?
Ya, harapannya untuk anak-anak muda sekarang itu janganlah malu dengan budaya kita sendiri. Sebagaimanapun juga kan itu merupakan peninggalan nenek moyang kita yang harus tetap dilestarikan. Kalau bukan kita-kita yang muda, terus siapa lagi yang akan meneruskan perjuangan para leluhur kita yang sudah terdahulu.
Oke, mungkin itu teman-teman sekilas dari Lengger Wonosobo. Itu aja, sekian dari saya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye. Makasih Mas Riko.
That was a short interview with Mas Riko. As we can see, Lengger has changed over time. In the past, Lengger chants were mostly men who performed in feminine style, but today, that traditional is rarely seen. Mas Riko hopes that the younger generation will continue to preserve our cultural heritage because it's not us, then who? That's all for today's video. Sorry if there were any mistake in my words. I'm Amalia Sadatul Rusda, student number 074, singing off. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And see you next time. Bye-bye.
Kertek Traditional Market is located in Kertek Village, Kertek Subdistrict, Wonosobo Regency, Central Java. The market has existed since the Dutch colonial era in the 19th century. However, it was officially recognized on October 10, 1983 by the then region of Wonosobo, Degree Drs Suikanto, who served from 1975 to 1985. Kertek Market covers an area of approximately 6,914 hectares and operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Kertek Market consists of 3 floors. It's designated for different types of goods and services. The first floors offer a range of items including vegetables, fruits, dry bread, staple goods or tobacco, and processed chicken. And the third floor focuses on clothing and garments, as well as pottery products. This floor also provides various services such as tailoring, barbershop, and electronic repairs. The rental prices for stalls or kiosks at Kertek Market vary depending on their location and size. On average, the kiosks are around 2 square meters in size. Rental fees range from IDR 2 million to 5 million every year. The selling prices start from IDR 15 million to 35 million, but purchase and rental transactions are privately owned and not managed by the market authorities. Prices at Kertek Market are generally reasonable and aligned with the quality of the goods offered. It all comes down to how carefully we, as buyers, select and compare products to get the best item that suit our needs. The service provided by the vendors at Kertek Market varies. Some are friendly and helpful, while others may be less pleasant. Therefore, it is important for buyers to be wise and selective in choosing vendors to ensure a satisfying shopping experience. The market days at Kertek Market, according to the Japanese calendar, fall on Kliwon and Pahing, which occur twice every 5 days. On these market days, the market tends to be livelier and offer a more complete variety of goods.
Nang pasarnya kan lebar corona, tekan saiki ke ora rame, pasar saya suwi saya sepi, barang-barang pada munda, wong tuku ya karepe ya sing ajeg murah. Makanya saya suwi sepi, lah saiki lingkungan gone wae dasaran gak padha didol. Saking sepine, wong masukan karo pengeluaran ke ora seimbang. Wonge gak padha nang luar.
However, on regular day or other specific days, the situation remains relatively the same. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, market activity has declined and recently both foot traffic and transaction have continued to decrease. This has led to a drop in the income of the vendors. Ironically, while their earnings have gone down, kiosk rental prices have continued to rise. The overall condition of the Kertek Market building is still relatively safe, including the roof, walls, floors, and kiosks.
Jika tangga sing pasar yang medhuk nang lantai loro wae nganu ambles wisan sing tangga besi, malah sprene ora didandani, ora kapak-kapakno, malah ditembel-tembel tok blabak wis ngisore kebocor, nek apa meneh nek nembe udan bali kumuh becek.
However, the metal tires have suffered significant damage and have become dangerous to us. This fact has become public knowledge, considering that the last construction was carried on in 1995, and as of 2025, there have been no plans for further rehabilitation or renovation. The market layout is organized according to categories of goods, with similar types of products grouped together. Unfortunately, there are no clear directional signs or location markers, making it difficult for visitors to navigate and find specific areas. The available facilities at Kertek Market are still limited. Public restrooms are only available on the first and third floors, with no restroom facilities on the second floor. As for places of worship, there is no prayer room within the market building itself. However, a place for worship is available to the north, behind the police post, and in the certain area where our village-owned prayer room is used. Kertek Market does not have permanent trash bins. Waste is typically placed along the edges of the market and is collected by garbage truck every afternoon. Kertek Market is not equipped with internal CCTV or dedicated security personnel. Security relies solely on traffic CCTV installed around the outer area of the market.
Jadi sih kalau wis tahu kemalingan, mesin, jahitan yo ilang, laporan poho yo wis ora ono apa-apa weh, padahal yo wis bayar sak malam, yo abonemen, ono akses ono yo dewek-dewek, tapi yo ilang wis ora ono sing anu, ora ono perhatian, jadi ilang yo wis ilang.
Although there are regular contributions collected for security or patrol purpose, unfortunately, when incident of death occur, no party follows up or takes responsibility. This leaves both vendors and visitors unsure of whom to report to, as the presence and role of the market management are unclear. The clean lines and comfort of Kertek Market are vitally good. This is evident from the minimal pollution and the relatively clean and healthy environment. However, unpleasant odors occasionally arise in certain areas, which can affect the comfort of visitors.
Hey everyone, for my social-cultural section, I'm focusing on the Tuku Omong tradition at Kertek Market. The reason I chose this tradition is because it's a crucial step in preserving rich local cultural heritage, ensuring that ancestral values and practices remain alive amidst modernization. This tradition isn't just a ritual, it's also a way to strengthen social bonds and foster togetherness among the market community, creating an interactive space that prioritizes respect and understanding in every transaction. Furthermore, Tuku Omong can become a unique attraction that sets Kertek Market apart, potentially drawing visitors and boosting the local economy through cultural tourism. The Kertek Market is one of the traditional markets in Wonosobo Regency. The Kertek Market boasts a unique tradition known as Tuku Omong. The unique tradition at the Kertek Market is intended for those with children who are late talkers. Unlike most traditional markets, the Kertek Market in Wonosobo is known for this unique tradition. If you have toddlers, again 3 to 5 working years old, you can try visiting the Kertek Market. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to conduct an observation at Kertek Market, and it turned out that the Tuku Omong tradition truly exists. Its location is in the market office area. During the observation, I met one of the market staff members named Mr. Sukiat. He is 50 years old and resides in Kertek. I also had the chance to interview him to gain more information about the existence and activities of Tuku Omong in the market. I actually witnessed the Tuku Omong tradition firsthand and had the opportunity to interview the patient's mother directly. The child's name is Humaira. She is 5 years old and live in Batur Dieng, Wonosobo. As for the steps involved, first, the patient meets with an attendant, then receive a ticket to fill out the child's identity and pays for the ticket at a cost of 2,500 rupiahs. Then the officer will ask you to prepare a bottle of bottled water and then pray over it. After drinking the water by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala's permission, The children will be able to communicate clearly. This very simple process can help your child who is experiencing communication difficulties. Of course, you also have to be patient in this unique tradition because some can speak immediately, while many need a process. The point is, you have to believe and trust in the existence of Tukang Among because of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.
Welcome to Wonosobo, the famine above the clouds, known for its traditional cuisine. One must try this sagon, a legendary cake passed down from generation to generation. However, unlike other traditional foods, it is quite difficult to enjoy sagon in Wonosobo nowadays, as not many people still make this traditional food. The easiest way to find sagon is to visit the third floor of the Wonosobo Central Market. Sagon is a type of maize cake that was once made from a mixture of finely grated coconut and sago flour, but in some regions it is now made from glutinous rice flour or tapioca flour. Wonosobo sagon is made from glutinous rice flour, grated coconut, granulate sugar, and a touch of vanilla, shaped into a round form with a depression in the center. It is baked using charcoal on both sides to enhance the aroma and served warm in cold weather, creating the perfect sensation. Its distinctive taste is sweet and savory, its texture is soft yet firm, and its aroma is smoky. It is best enjoyed while still warm with a cup of tea or small and medium enterprises like Mr. Maksum, 45 years old, who has been selling sagon at the main market in Wonosobo for 20 years, have preserved the sagon tradition to this day. It is no wonder that many tourists seek out warm sagon when visiting Wonosobo. In February 2022, Sagon SMS retrofit entrepreneurship training and product quality improvement programs to help them level up professionally. In the sagon could only be purchased at traditional markets, but now thanks to the enthusiasm of SBI, entrepreneurs and local government support, Wonosobo sagon can be found in modern stores like Alfamart. Wonosobo sagon is not just about the cake but about heritage, family, and the spirit of amazing wonders. Let's support local product. Find Wonosobo sagon at the nearest store or head straight to the market to enjoy it fresh from the oven. Wonosobo sagon, the sweetness of tradition.